Hi, everyone. Welcome back. This is part 2 of a 2-part recap. If you're wondering where part 1 was, well, go check in the feed and be sure to subscribe so that way you always get your episodes. But enough of that. Let's get right back into the episode.
So she is like giggling all over herself, and she starts talking about how she's going to have this CBD THC party at her house tomorrow. And because that was her thing, like her and Mo are like loving being stoners or whatever. And Morgan is like, whatever. She goes, yeah, I think that's weird, actually. I mean, I don't know. You said you don't like edibles. Now you're going to have an edible party. And she goes, I don't like them. I don't like them, Morgan. Oh, my God. You know what you should tattoo? Choose, put the egg roll, because that's like something that's edible, and then like put a no through it, like an X outside, like no smoking, but like nothing edible. I hate edibles. I'm going to have an IV to feed myself now. Like, I literally don't even like anything that's edible anymore.
Hey, you felt like your necklace was choking you.
I did. I totally thought it was choking me. Oh my God. I felt like it was so choking me. But like sometimes in this group, they're like pushing me. They're like, why are you not drinking? And every time I see them, I'm like, if I don't do the edibles, are they going to get like annoyed with me? Are they so can I do an edible? Will you be mad if I do an edible? I guess that's what I'm just trying to figure out. Like, is this going to be kind of like this thing? Is it could be like over if I have an edible? I'm just trying to gauge. I mean, whatever you want to do. It's fine. It's cool.
Morgan's like,
you should have to feel pressure to do something like you don't want to do, Carl, just because everybody else does it.
Carl just looks at her like, what? How does that even make any sense? She's like, I don't know what language you're speaking right now, but I'm just going to keep listening to it because I love you. I love you.
Well, yeah, because you don't hang out with these same people, but just go. And if you decide when you're there to try it, then try it. But if you decide that when you're there, I don't want to do this, then don't. Don't make a big deal about it, Kyle.
Kyle is literally the one throwing this party. Why is she acting like, oh my God, everyone is pressuring me. It's so crazy. Like, what if I don't do weed at the weed party? You're throwing the weed party.
You've elected to do this. Just have a normal party instead. Come up with another bullshit reason.
You're literally the one on your sober season getting everyone high at your party. Are you fucking crazy?
I know.
Kyle is so Kyle. I can't.
Yeah. And Kyle is saying that Morgan's been sober for 6 years, and it's just like nice to have friends that you have things in common with. Like, we both like to work out. We don't like to drink. It's just nice to surround yourself with, like-minded people.
But didn't you just start all of that when you met her? You weren't working out like that and not drinking until you got obsessed with Morgan. You can't be like, oh my God, we have so much in common. When you literally you're stealing her personality. Give it back. Give it back.
So now it's time for Kyle to get her a tattoo, and Morgan's just like watching while this tattoo goes on, and Morgan's,
it's a penis.
and she's just stop it. She's so funny. She's so funny. I mean, she's acting. She's like trying to like not to make me laugh, and then she says you're drawing a penis. Isn't she incorrigible? Oh my God, we are so like-minded. These jokes.
And Morgan's like, well, I get that real spicy, Kyle, the thing you're getting there. And she's like, yeah, I should have put like a little pepper there. I should have put a pepper there. And Morgan's like, no one laughs at your jokes quite like you do. Be still, Kyle. Stop moving, Kyle. She's like, I'm trying not to, but like everyone's like, oh my God, how are they friends? Like, you taught me that I can't judge a book by the cover. Even though I'm literally trying to get your cover art printed on my book right now.
Even though I'm trying to take the jacket off of your cover and wrap it around me. The way that Kyle has said so many times in this scene, like, people are so confused about our friendship. People are so confused about our friendship. Like, methinks thou protest too much. I guess it's not a protest, but like, she's bringing it up so much. I'm like, okay, you're overcompensating now.
I think Morgan looks uncomfortable. I don't think she likes it. I mean, I don't know. Look, Morgan made a whole song and music video about it. So I don't think that I guess uncomfortable would probably be the right word, but I'm cringing at this point. I was expecting it to be like, oh, maybe they are in love, but I'm walking away from this like Kyle is stalking. She's just stalking this girl, and I feel bad for Morgan. Like, what did Morgan ever do? She's lonely. Have you ever met people who are like famous and on tour? They're very lonely people.
I mean, Kyle literally stalked Morgan. She literally like contacted Morgan. Kyle basically used her blue dot to get Morgan's attention. She put Morgan's music on her Instagram, and so everyone was like, "Oh my God, oh my God, Kyle Richards from TV likes your music, Morgan. I don't know if was Morgan Wade established before Kyle Richards? Did she have like a significant fan base or like whatever? Or has this been her big breakthrough moment? Because I don't know enough
I think
about
she
her.
was up and coming. Like she was opening for big groups, and I mean, she's been around a little while. She's certainly not famous like she is now. But is she famous? I mean, is she famous outside of the Housewives world? I mean, I think she's. I don't think Kyle literally gave her whole career, but I think she definitely, helped.
Yeah.
You definitely. She's going to have a lot of people like, oh my God, do the Vanderpump Rules theme, yes! Like she's going to be like, what the hell's happening to these shows now? Why I gotta sing that shit? You don't know what it was like living the best time of your life. What is shit? Who wrote this?
So now the tattoo is done, and this is when Kyle is like, oh, I'm gonna get a lightning bolt on my ear just like you have. We need more rumors started.
Awkward. Jeez, Kyle. So Kyle returns home, and all the dogs are sleeping, and Kyle walks into Mauricio working in that office, and she sees his book, The Deal Maker.
Yeah. And he's like, hey, so you haven't read the whole thing yet? Because she's like, oh, I haven't read it yet. And she goes, yeah, you haven't read it yet? Like, I sent you the whole book. So why have you not read it yet?
All just comes in the office to try and start fights and get Mauricio to care. Like, I feel like she's trying to do to Maurice, as Kim would say. I think she's trying to do to Mauricio what she's trying to do the audience, which is make us care. And he just doesn't. She's like, wow, hey Mo, guess what? I haven't read your book yet. Haven't even read it. You read a book? How would I know? I haven't read it. He's like, come on though. Why don't you read it? She's like, it's on the computer. I don't read computer books. You're literally holding a book. Yeah, well, you know what? Morgan says that covers of books don't even matter, so whatever. Guess what I got? Tattoo.
Now, excuse me, I've got to go finish reading this book on my iPad that Morgan recommended. Bye. But it's a little shady too of Mauricio to say you didn't read the whole book yet, because like he could just be like, oh yeah, we'll just read it when you have the time. So it's weird to call her out too. Like,
no, it's not. If your partner wrote a book and you never bothered to read it, and he didn't even bring it up, she brought it up just to be pissy.
Right. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like I think if it were me, I would have just been like, okay, I'm not gonna make my wife, even though my wife is trying to start a moment with me right now, I'm just gonna be like, oh, cool, like read it when you want to read it, like because I'm on camera. But he's like, oh, okay, well, if you want to do this, then I'm gonna come back at you right on camera. So they are clearly.
What did he do? How did he come back? He didn't come back at her. I'm team Mo.
That, when he said you haven't read the whole thing, I sent you the whole book. I mean, that was like passive aggressive in return. Like I understand why he did it. I'm just saying that like he's
fine.
also being passive aggressive.
I don't think so. I think he's just being like, why? Why are you bothering me? I'm trying to work. I'm trying to stare at the driveway while I work. Okay, could you please stop bothering me, Kyle? She's like, yeah, well, I didn't read your book. Guess what else I got? A tattoo. And he's like, oh, Lapin, which is bunny. Did you know? Hold on, let me look.
By the way, he's also. I have to say, to be fair, he's probably like, you didn't read my book when I've had to read every single script for your freaking Alicia Silverstone show. Every single pitch you've done.
I think he's nice. I think if it was the other way around, Kyle would be like, oh my God, Mauricio's not even reading my book. Like, what the hell? Like, is he even there for me anymore? So the definition of lapin is a rabbit, one, or two, a rabbit, especially when trimmed or dyed. Hold on. Where did I see this? It's a castrated. Where is it? Oh, lapin. This is from Merriam-Webster. The meaning of lapin is rabbit, specifically a castrated male rabbit. Isn't that a nice nickname for your wife?
Lapin. It's also the last name of the person who wrote the book Into the Woods.
We're really in the woods right now, I'll tell you that. I hope me and Mauricio can get out of the woods.
So then they have some small talk about like he's got to leave for Florida for a business trip, and he's bringing golf clubs. And she's like, "Oh my god, that bag! It's so big." He's like, "You may want to put me in there in a minute." He's like, Why? Why is that?" "I got another tattoo, huh? I got a tattoo." So she's like flaunting this now because she knows it's gonna make him so pissed off. He's like, "Honey, what are you doing, honey?" And she's like, "It's very small. It's small. And it represents agriculture."
Yeah, she's like, I mean, like, what do you care? Like, you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. I thought it was cute. Like, who's going to even see it unless I have a bathing suit on? I mean, it's going to be covered. And he goes, "Well, I hope I get to see it." She's like, "You're seeing it right now. And that's it." So
He's like,
bye,
"No,
loser. Bye, loser.
I'm in often. Like, you know." And he also was like, "Is it my name?" And she's like, "No, it's a planet." I decided to choose a planet from our solar system instead of you. Yeah. Saturn, which I suddenly care about.
Yeah, so it's Saturn. It's actually a planet with a new ring on it. And its name is Saturn. So
I literally put a ring on it because I like it so much. So now we go to Sun's house where her matchmaker comes over, and Avi can't stand her. Avi is she is coming in, and Avi, there's like another assistant there, and Avi's like, "She's very bubbly. Be ready. She's very bubbly. Awful. She's awful."
you're talking about the matchmaker, right?
Avi regarding the matchmaker, yes, he's telling
the matchmaker, Alessandra. She is the worst. Okay, she's like, "Oh my god, Saturn! Oh my god, Saturn! You're gonna go on a date, Saturn? It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna go. You're looking for Saturn. Oh my god, she's got like this big, long, fake ponytail on her. Oh my god, this girl is the worst. I think she yells at homeless people. I think she tries to I think she waits to see homeless people really close to the curb and then just gets as close as she can to hit them with her side mirror. I think she's
quite possible.
I don't trust people who are like this. You were going to go on a date. Here's what I've learned about you. You're really into other people. She's like, "No." Who told you that? Okay, here's what I've learned about you. You're a super subtle person, Saturn.
Yeah, this woman is definitely trying to land her own TV show via this cameo appearance. So Sutton has invited Dorit to come join because Dorit had a lot of opinions in Vegas about Sutton's dating life. So Sutton invited her. And so Dorit shows up and just walks in. Avi's like, "Oh, would you like to knock? Would you like to knock?" She's like, "No, I just walk right in." So they all sit down, and Sutton introduces Alessandra to Dorit.
And she goes, "Dorit is the perfect person to help me find a date. Because if Dorit fell in love with PK, then maybe I need to not be so picky." By the way, PK, classy as ever, coming to fight with the ladies on the Instagram, as he does, Ben. Here, hold on, I'm pulling it up. Everybody just calm the fuck down. How about that? So he says, at Sutton Strack, "I've never once said one bad word about you, so why would you make up blatant lies to boost your career and then double down is why you're single? You ain't no Dorit, love, and don't be so picky." Jeez.
Yeah, but the thing is that Dorit, if Dorit were picky, she probably would have gone for someone that wasn't PK. That's the whole point, PK. Let's stop acting like you were Pierce Brosnan.
You literally have two of the 100% of your name is in the word picky. So he's also mad because last week, I think it was last week, when Sutton was like, "Well, all I really know about that DUI is it was rumored that there was a woman in the car." So he's posting a screenshot of the police report, and it says, from the police, observations after the stop. "I approached the vehicle along the driver's side door. I observed a white male adult who was the sole occupant of the car, seated in the driver's seat of the car. I contacted the driver, less identified, Paul Kimsley." So there, it was nobody. Listen, Dorit might not be picky, but hookers certainly are in this neighborhood. How dare you? Dare you, ma'am?
I would have loved it if there was someone in the car, but really only if it were Berlin. Ladies and gentlemen, Berlin. Berlin, everyone.
Hey, mama.
No, we don't sing that if they're going to make me do a breathalyzer. Okay.
Hey,
I'm gonna
Berlin,
refuse that.
can you literally take my breath away? Because I really don't want it going through that process.
Hey, balloon lady, can you blow the breathalyzer instead? You seem like you built for this is the moment you've been waiting for your whole career.
We got the reading back from the breathalyzer, and it is off key. So, gonna have to take you in.
We got the reading from the breathalyzer, and it turns out it's 100%. I don't care. Hey, Robin Dixon, get out of here.
This is I'd like to play a song from my favorite movie, Risky Business. Get out of my dreams and into my car. Actually, it's not from Risky Business. I don't care. I can't breathe. Berlin, give me back my breath.
I like to sing a song from my favorite movie out of Africa. It's called When the Going Gets Tough, the Tough Gets Going. By Billy Ocean.
I'd like to sing my favorite song from Frozen as I walk this straight line, which is Ring of Fire.
I'd like
Fire.
to sing my favorite song from movie Cocktail. It's called Caribbean Queen. Caribbean Queen. Now I'm sharing the same dream. Thank you very much, Billy Ocean, everyone.
Oh, so Dorit's there now, and she's like, well, I want to hear what your take on this nutcases. And Alessandra's like, oh my God, Dorit. Okay, so here's what we did with Sutton. Okay, we wanted to look under the hood a little bit because we just wanted to figure out what was making that machine work. And Sutton's like, I'm not a car. Okay, so it's just a metaphor. So don't worry, it's just a metaphor, Sutton. I'm not a car. It's just a funny metaphor. Okay, let's just drive on. Let's just drive. I'm not a fucking car.
All right, let's pump the brakes on this one. Okay, but let's just pump the brakes there. Okay, let's just shift this into first gear.
Listen, sometimes you just need to keep the maintenance up. Sutton needs a little what we call an oil change. Okay, dip it in the stick, change it.
So Alessandra's like, well, she was very resistant, but then we had a many aha moments, okay? Because what I heard with my ear, because I have ears, is that she is not looking for a billionaire whatsoever. That's what I heard.
Well, excuse me. I did not say that. I'm sorry. Did I hear someone's motor get running?
All right, you're getting really revved up there. Okay. But what I do feel, okay, here's two things I know about Sutton. She doesn't want a billionaire, and she's incredibly self-aware. Very, very self-aware. I feel like actually anyone who's ever met Sutton or even seen her on TV would know this is the most self-aware woman there is.
Avi, come over here. Avi. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. What can I do for you, ma'am? Cancel that check. Cancel the check to this fucking idiot Alessandra, okay? Cancel payment on this check.
Now, Alva, here's my cocktail. Okay, can you just hold it for 1 second? Okay, good. Now throw it in her face. Do it.
So this was very funny because Alessandra knows nothing about Sutton. Okay, listen, I don't need you to know everything about Sutton, but A, she's on TV, and B, you had a meeting with her, an in-depth meeting with her. You know nothing. Sutton's not going to turn down a billionaire. Do you know how much she's worth? Of course, no one's going to turn down a billionaire, Alessandra. Get the fuck out of here. You're fired.
Yeah. And Dorit is like gobsmacked by the idea that Sutton might be self-aware. I mean, she is literally so lacking self-awareness, which is what makes her a great housewife. Dorit's like, I would say that her biggest downfall is that she isn't self-aware. I mean, some people you like to use the words erratic or strange or manic or Toyota-esque. I'm not a car. Why would you say that? Just trying to keep you on your toes.
Listen, if Sutton is basically like I would describe an automobile. Now you're literally calling me a car. She's a Ford. She drinks a lot of fuel. All right, she's not really a sipper. She's more of a gallon chugger. Do you know what I'm saying?
What's the opposite of a pickup truck? You know, like what's the opposite of built Ford tough? Is there something called like built Ford weak? Is that something?
Let's just say, if Sutton, okay, let's say if Sutton was powered by vodka, she would literally start fracking in her own backyard. Wait a minute. Now you're mixing cars with alcoholism? Well, you do take a lot of gas, don't you?
Oh, okay. Now, Alessandro, do be careful. There's a very intense security system in this household to make sure no one steals her battery.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
So Alessandra's like, oh my God, I can totally work with that. And Sutton's like, well, listen, I don't know about any of that, but I can tell you this. I'm very confident. On the road. Shut up, Dorit.
So then now they start looking at some of the bachelors. There's like Bachelor S, and he loves kids. He loves to travel. And then Sutton just zooms in on his dick. I just need to see what it looks like in there. And Dorit's like, oh my, she's zooming in on his privates the way she zooms through toll lanes. And then we have Bachelor M, who is the CEO of an entertainment firm, and she's like, ugh, absolutely not.
Yeah, she's like, that is disgusting. Okay, what entertainment coordination? What the hell is that? She's like, what? He owns an entertainment company. Oh, really? But he coordinates people who work at children's parties. That's a pretty good one to read. All of a sudden, she's like, die to fire, Alessandra. I'm swiping left on that one.
Yeah.
So she goes, yeah, and number 2, I don't like a black shirt with black tuxedo. I'm out. And Dorit's like, black tie with a black shirt and a black jacket. Oh my God. Worst thing ever. Hello. It's called going for monochromatic look.
So Alessandra's like, well, imagine if someone judged you on everything you were on your first date. And then, and Dorit loves it. She goes, yeah. And then we see, of course, a flashback to Sutton wearing her cat sweater on that date last season.
Yeah. And so Dorit's like, I'm not sure Sutton should be judging somebody on fashion choices. That's like calling the other part non-sticky, isn't it? Lots of non-stickery going on here. Pots.
That's like a pot calling the kettle a Lincoln Continental. So then we have Bachelor number 3, who's into plant-based meals, and he likes watching classic movies and relaxing indoors with a nice bottle of wine. And so he goes, I hate wine. It's like, well, I mean, what they need to say is relaxing with a bottle or 2 of vodka, you alcoholic.
Sutton's like, I am going to kill her. I think she wants to die today. So they all choose Bachelor number 1. And I don't know why, because he's the entertainment coordinator in the all black, but there they go. They picked him. I thought number 2 was the hottest. Wait, did we see their faces?
No,
we did,
actually,
right?
we saw 2 of their faces, and one of them was blurred out. One of them refused.
Maybe
to
that's
be
the
on
one I liked.
show. Yeah, I loved his murky features.
I love a faceless man with a job. That's all I really need in life.
He doesn't want to be seen by us.
Okay, so now we go to people getting ready, and Kyle is getting her hair curled and getting ready for dinner. And then Morgan FaceTimes her, and she's like, "Oh my God, like, what about your tattoo? Like, tell me about your tattoo, you guys. I made Morgan, like, I put a tattoo on Morgan today. It was hilarious. Morgan, tell him how hilarious it was. It was so funny. You guys, do you think our relationship's weird? Morgan, the guy curling my hair thinks that our relationship is so weird, Morgan." It's crazy, right?
And then it turns out that Kyle had tattooed the K onto Morgan, and Morgan's like,
No one else can say they've been tattooed by Kyle Richards.
and Kyle's like, oh my God, like, it was like really hard. Like, you have like so many things on your, like, you have like a trout and like a roll of toilet paper. I couldn't think of like one thing I actually want, like, that you don't have to put on you. So like, what's like the one thing? I mean, it was just like crazy. We're just like such good friends. People are so misunderstood about our friendship.
Morgan does not look happy about having Kyle force a
Morgan
K
does not
onto
like
her
that K.
arm. What the fuck? Who does that?
Well, you know what they say about kisses. Every kiss begins with K.
So then I would put a circle around it at least. So at least you're giving, at least you're doing something that Mary Cosby won't stand in front of.
you can get a refreshment. So Kyle, by the way, I can't stand this hair that they're doing to Kyle. This is Kyle.
This is bad.
Kyle, it honestly looks, I've got some dead scallions upstairs, and this is what they look like when they die in my planter. When they're alive, they're all sticking straight up. When they're dead, they all just sort of like wilt down like this, sort of like curl up and brownish, and she's got like dead scallion hair. I don't like it. I don't like this look on her.
So Kyle is telling us the ladies are giving me such a hard time about not drinking, and like I'm feeling a little peer pressure. And like if I'm honest, like okay, like here's my options in life. I can either drink margaritas, or like do the splits and say something I regret and like wake up with a headache, or I could smoke weed or eat weed and just shut them all up.
Let's not blame the splits on the alcohol. That's just innately in you. Okay. It doesn't matter, because I think we've seen you do the splits even sober. Didn't you do the splits with Kelly Clarkson very recently? So we cannot excuse it. We cannot blame it on the alcohol in this case.
I block it out. I just have learned, my brain has learned to recognize that trauma, and just, it's like one of Sutton's date. It just has no face. Just never see it again. So, let's see. People start coming. Faye is here with Justin. And Justin goes up to the bartender and goes, "Oh my God, Faye orders Chardonnay. When white ladies order Chardonnay, that's when I'm most scared. Am I right?" The bartender's like,
He's like, "You watch E, right? You know I'm on E, right? You're gonna try to laugh." So then Kyle
care. Literally do not care.
So what's funny with Justin? So Justin was Kyle's assistant for a long time, and now he's a host on E, and he's doing great things for himself. But it's so funny because like when he's back in Kyle's house, Kyle treats him like an assistant again. Did you notice at one point Kyle's like, "I'm gonna go to another room. Justin, could you just like make sure everyone sits in the right place? Thank you so much. Bye." Like he's not your assistant anymore. So
welcome to being a gay friend of a housewife, aren't we?
That's true.
I mean, have we known when that they're not like, actually, could you get that drink? Meet me downstairs when you have my.
No, we become buggers.
It's like a natural thing where housewives are like, "Oh my God, the gays love me. Boss them around. Make a to-do list."
They do. They love it. So, so now finally Anne Marie shows up. Anne Marie, after like 6 episodes into the season, Anne Marie has arrived. And there's a lot of, "Oh my God, hi, how are you? Good to see you." And like, "Oh my God." And Kyle is trying to tell us that she and Anne Marie is a new friend of hers. I'm like, how new? Like 10 seconds ago? They seem to know nothing about each other. I feel like they've never had a conversation, because all they're talking about is like, "Oh my God, your birthday? When's your birthday? Your birthday's April 17th. Oh my God, my mom's birthday was April 17th. Oh my God, and what's your name again? Anne Marie. Oh my God, I love you. Nice to meet you."
I kind of prefer it because, it was just somebody who is cast. I don't like when they try and pretend that they've been like friends for years, The show's like, we're popular enough. We just cast somebody new. Enjoy. So she's like, "Yeah, like we've known each other like 5 minutes, but basically, okay, I have a question for you, Emery. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Do you like my tattoo? Okay. Do you like my tattoo? Okay. I'm just kidding. Do you think me and Morgan have a weird relationship? I'm just kidding. Okay. So, how often do you work out? How often do you work out? And I'm only telling you this because someone is judging me for working out. And apparently you work out. Do you work out? It's like, yeah, 7 days a week, six or 7 days. Oh my God. Thank you. Could you just say that later? Because Sutton made a comment about me working out too much. And then like people are talking about me working out too much.
It's not that you work out 6 or 7 days a week. It's that you like, it's in combination with tattoos and the wedding band, and that on a Vegas vacation, you woke up at 6 a.m. to make sure you got your gym time in. It's like a little obsessive.
It's that you're literally copying somebody younger than your child and trying to steal their personality from them. Okay, you fucking body snatcher. That's what it's about. Give her back her face.
Faye's like, "I think it's hilarious that the person being healthy is the one that's being attacked right now."
I haven't said this in a while. Shut the fuck up, Faye. Jesus.
So now Sutton shows up next, and she meets Anne Marie and everything. And Sutton's like, "Oh," Anne Marie walks in this black dress that's all tulle. And I'm thinking, "I've seen this dress before." And we see Erica wearing the same dress, but like in pink. She goes, "Oh yeah, it was on Erica when she was playing Barbie. They're still making that dress."
So Erica arrives next, and everyone's like, hi, and Kyle's like, "Oh my God, that's the one, that lady right there. She's the one who says I work out too much. Get her from me. Get her."
Yeah. Go do it. So Crystal shows up with her friend Nancy, and Crystal's like, I don't know Anna Marie well, but we have mutual friends, and I will say she talks a lot. She asks a lot of questions. The bitch is nosy. I'm like, well, they need to have someone to ask and to say things, Crystal, because you're not doing anything.
So let me guarantee you one thing she's not going to ask about: your brother's relationship. Now, here's the thing that's weird. It's not really that. I don't even know why I'm bringing it up. But why are they all calling her Anna Marie? Because her name is Anne Marie.
Is it Anne Marie, not Anna Marie?
It's Anne Marie, but they keep calling her. Everyone who they ask about her, they're like Anna Marie. Kyle's the only one who says Anne Marie, and she says it like Anne Marie.
That is Anne Marie.
Anne Marie. So, okay, who cares? So Kyle's like, oh yeah, you know what? Camille's coming. She's gonna come with Denise Richards. And Justin's like, what? Camille and Denise? That is insane. That is insane. It's one of them would have Chardonnay because I'm gonna like literally die. Am I right? Am I right, everybody?
I'm sorry I wasn't listening. Hey Justin, could you organize my mail? Thank you so much. Afterwards, you can join us for dinner. So then Kyle's like, yeah, I mean, all we need is like an old electronic cigarette. So then we see a flashback from Alison Dubois, who her famous line, he will never emotionally fulfill you ever. Know that. And as soon as the kids are bigger, you'll have nothing in common. Know that. So what was interesting to me when I read this, when I heard this, was I could have sworn at the end of the flashback, I heard a ticking clock. I heard like a 60 Minutes thing. That was not a good ticking clock sound, but like it was a tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
I think that was Carl's heartbeat.
And I was like, I was like, are they doing like a ticking clock? Like time is running out for this marriage? And I was so I went back, I listened to it a few times. And I heard it, but then I convinced myself, oh no, I think it was just the new like music starting to segue in. It starts off with like maybe like a little drum beat. But at the end of the episode, when it said to be continued, they played a ticking clock sound. So I think the sound design, the edit put in post, they're putting in little clues for us.
They're not even subtle. I mean, this one, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I didn't notice that one, but they're not subtle with these clues. Like when Kyle's like, oh my God, you guys, I got like a tattoo on Morgan. It was hilarious. They cut to that scene and it's like, bing, chicka, bing, bing. Yeah, I'm going to pick your tattoo. It's just like sounds of ladies like, I'm like, okay, subtle guys. They're like playing Sarah McLachlan music. Or like, it's like the Lilith Fair soundtrack and moaning. To a porn beat.
The Jill Sobule poster in the background, Indigo Girls. I went to the doctor. I went to the something.
This show is really trying hard to make us buy this. So good luck. So Denise and Camille come up, right? And Denise is one of those people who's like, oh my God, thank you, driver. Thank you so much. You were really such a good driver. We drove right now. Wow. That was amazing. You were really talented at driving. You should drive every day.
The driver's like, okay, lady, I get it. Listen, I'm getting paid. I don't need to be paid in compliments. Just go into your party.
You're great. Have you ever seen anybody handle a steering wheel like that, Lady Camille? That was good. That was really good stuff.
Just be careful, big pharma. That's what I'm saying. You're great work. Great work.
You know what? Just stay away from 5G. I'm telling you.
Yes, anyway, that's good. So they walk in, and Garcelle sees him and goes, oh! And he says, what's that?
What's that mean? What?
Wow.
She goes, well, you can call me a newbie somewhat, but even I know what went on between Faye Resnick and Camille. And then we see flashback to Dinner from Hell 2010. And Camille going, yeah, I recognized during the dinner that, it was the hair. And then I realized, oh my God, that's who it is. It's Faye Resnick. The morally corrupt Faye Resnick.
Mwah. It's back when Camille didn't need Mauricio to guide her words. Yeah, so I was at the dinner party and saw, like, I looked over the sand, Kyle's friend, and I recognized the hair, and it was like, I realized, oh my God, it was like, also Faye Resnick. So, like, the more corrupt Faye Resnick.
The more they corrupt, devastating.
So
I never remember what.
So upsetting.
I wish I could find that. I changed computers like 3 years ago, and all my little favorite Bravo audio clips that I gathered over the years just all disappeared. And they're around.
Oh, no.
They're not deleted, but they're like hidden in like a folder somewhere. And I just always want to play the clips, and I can never find them.
You need to find those. Those are classic. Come on, Ben.
Well, maybe I'll check my Farrago. Maybe it's on Farrago somewhere. I'll look, but
Farrago.
It's an application on, and it'd be great if it were there, but I don't think it is, which is sad. Just a little peek behind the scenes, everyone. Oh wait, it's here.
Ooh.
I think it's here.
So how sad that we're going to be celebrating
somebody else's, when the same day that we hear about our friends split.
So upsetting.
I know.
It is actually hilarious every time. He literally just like, okay, I'm gonna finish the sentence for you because you're getting lost in it.
just trying to make it stop.
Yeah, because then he was like,
So, okay, so they come in and Garcelle's like, oh my God, those two do not like each other. Even I know that. So everybody says hello, and, Erica's like, wow, you're down to eat this dinner with the THC, the CBD? And Denise is like, you know what, I do not want to eat that. I mean, I smoked weed twice in my life, was not good, and I'm not going to say who I did that with, and looks straight at the camera and starts winking.
It's like, the last thing that I need to be right now is incapacitated. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling.
Denise is just shit-faced. And I was reading speculation online last week. People were like, oh my God, Denise is embarrassing. What's wrong with her? And people were like, no, you guys, it's just a THC party. That's the only reason. No, she showed up like this. Love it.
But though, God bless her, she looked like she was having a great time, and she still, despite being fucked up, she was still like fairly with it. Like she was able to engage in all the conversations, just sort of in a slurry kind of like happy-go-lucky way. I was happy for her. So Garcelle is she's saying that she won't. She's talking about how she won't do edibles because you never know when they're going to kick in and stuff. And then Dorit goes up to Sun and goes, do you want to talk to Kyle? And Sun's like, I'm going to. But before she accuses me of alcoholism, I thought I'd get a cocktail first. Sky's the limit. Literally, I don't do Sky. That's where I draw the line.
This idiot with a big plastic ponytail tried to fix me up with someone who drank Sky. I'm never seeing him again. I'll tell you that much. Fired her, threw her off the balcony. It's pretty funny. I think it was Cynthia who was saying, the thing with weed, you just don't know when it's going to hit, because Cynthia Bailey is also at this party. Dun, dun, dun.
Yes, I feel like we didn't talk that Cynthia was there. Yeah.
Yeah,
it was really Bravo was kind of like, okay, we don't know how the season's going so far. We're just gonna put every single person into this party and see what happens.
Yes. Okay, so Dorit's like, so then, did you choke the coil? And she's like, I'm going to. I just thought, you know what? I thought I needed a cocktail first. A cocktail would be in order. It's like, poor Sutton. Like, you were just walking into this trap. You're just walking right into it, this whole alcoholism trap. Every time they say, hey, Sutton, want to do something? She's like, after a drink, I do.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
So then Faye and Camille have like a fake hug. Like, hi, nice to see you. And so they by the way, so while Kyle and Sutton are going off to speak, she tells Justin to have everyone sit where their place card is. And I just want to point out, this is important because Kyle has given assigned seats at this table. So what this means is that later on, in a few minutes, Kyle has placed her best friend, Faye Resnick, directly across from Camille Grammer. This is the sort of friend that Kyle is. This is the
She
bullshit.
does it all the time. Who did she seat against across from each other last year? It was. I mean, this is just fucking Kyle. You know, that's why it was always. And I don't even mind. I mean, it's a housewife show. You got to keep it moving. You know what I mean? And she's good at that. That's what always made me crazy when they were accusing Vanderpump of like making things move. You know, like manipulating the storyline. Kyle is accusing somebody of that. My God, she was just better at it. You know, so Camille and Denise get to the table, and Denise's like, "Shibbles, what are we supposed to say? There's 2 people named Denise here." It's like, no, that's one Denise. I think you're seeing it 2 times. There's 6 Denises at the table. Hey, everybody's name is Denise. Raise your hand. Oh my God, there's like 5 hands raised in front of me. They're all on me. How do I have 5 hands? How?
What's going on here? So Camille's like sitting across from Faye. And Faye, of course, just moves. She just switches with Justin. I think she switches with Justin. Who knows? And Faye is like, I have no interest in talking with that woman. As if people are just like clamoring to talk to Faye Resnick after all these years. So Camille's just giggling in the corner, which I love. I just love that they just bring out Camille every few years and
Just to be evil to everybody.
just
She's
to
like,
be evil.
Thank God. That would have been disgusting if I had to sit next to her.
Camille, I God, she's one of the greatest friends of all time. She just does it so right.
Okay, so then Sutton and Kyle go into that other room, and Sutton's like, "So, it got sales. I got heated. I did get heated." And Kyle's like, "Yeah, and it even got even more heated at your house. I mean, even more heated, hotter than a hot toddy, which you probably drank because you're an alcoholic. So let's just get right to that."
Yeah, and Sutton goes, "Yeah, which I hated. I hate it almost as much as I hate these twin basketballs that you have sitting on candlesticks next to your fireplace. What's the deal with that?" Anyway, did you notice
Wow,
that, by
Kyle,
the way?
I'm gonna give that fight the same review that everybody's giving you in Halloween Kills. Hated it.
And Kyle goes, "I know. And that's why I kept saying I didn't think you were being yourself." And Sutton goes, "I wasn't being myself. And I had to have a meeting with Christian, my ex-husband, over the weekend. Kyle,
Okay.
he got a big promotion, like a big
Okay.
promotion.
Okay.
He's moving to London. Yeah.
I mean, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then and the way he tells me, it was not celebratory. It's more like,
I mean,
you're moving with me and James. He wants me to move to London with James and live in a
oh
castle.
God, well, he can fuck off. He can fuck off. I mean, okay. It's just no. Well, I'm glad you can say that, Kyle, but I can't say that. I mean, okay. I mean, look, you can't force you. Like, he doesn't have the right to tell you what to do. So, I mean, go ahead and finish the story. Okay, it's only something upsetting if it's to Kyle. Like, she's the worst person. Like, at least fake it. You know what I mean? Like, the lady's at least trying to make peace with you, and you're just being terrible. Now, this is where Kyle enters the mode that Kyle's always in. I don't know. She doesn't need to enter it. She's always in it. She's just going to make Sutton crazy and then go back to the table and say how mean Sutton was to her after she just literally made her crazy.
Exactly. And Son's like, when I went through my divorce, my ex had, he had a big team and he could fight me. He could fight me harder.
okay.
I was like Princess Leia against Darth Vader and all the stormtrooper things or whatever. Why do they keep giving me Star Wars stuff to say in these shows? I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. Why do they keep doing this to me?
He's extremely powerful globally. Okay.
And Death Star Lee too, if we want to take it to Star Wars. So Son's like, she was
What
like,
did she say? She said, I'm not talking, she says globally, and I'm not talking about selling. What is she? Oh, real estate. I'm not talking about selling houses. He is powerful globally. Okay.
Oh, I guess
He's
that's
not
a dig at
Kyle.
Mauricio.
Yeah.
So Son's basically like, can he just take James, my adult son who's in college? Can he just take him? And I don't know if maybe like, what if James actually wanted to go with his pa and move to London to a big house? Like, well, instead of with his mother who just sits at home and drinks cocktails by herself, like I couldn't deal with it, Kyle.
Will
like,
London
whatever.
even have vending machines for James to attend to? How's he going to become a good person? How?
I hear you have to use a different arm in the vending machine. It's on the wrong side of the street, basically.
You got to get your Snickers at the left side of the machine instead of the right side. It's a very different country. He's not going to know what to do. He ain't going to know.
So Sutton's like, so it was weighing on me, and so I just overreacted because my brain is just somewhere else, and it's fine. I'm not going to go to London. Just James isn't going to London, and now I'm going to have him full time, so it all worked out. But it's like I'm going to get more child support, Kyle. Kyle, I'm going to have increased child support, and I'll have to deal with that with more money.
Now, is Sutton ridiculous? Yes.
Yes.
But for fuck's sake, all you have to do is be like, oh my God, I'm sorry you were going through drama. So that's why you were acting weird the other day? That makes so much sense. But Kyle is not, because Kyle still has not gotten what she's coming for, which is Sutton to bring up Mauricio's cheating and Kyle possibly dating Morgan Wade. She doesn't even care about the Mauricio cheating. That's already out there. She knows that. She wants someone to accuse her of being girlfriends with Morgan Wade. Not because of lesbianism, not because of any of that, although I do think she thinks that she's cool, that people think she's gay baiting, as we've already talked about, but because Kyle loves nothing more to be in proximity to a celebrity. And she's like, I am dating a young, famous person who goes on tour and sells albums. Tell people, tell her. And Sutton doesn't. Sutton's only accusation here is that Kyle is depressed, working out too much because her husband's cheating. But that's not what Kyle wants. She wants to be linked to a famous person, damn it.
And I think you could make an argument for Sutton. I'm not saying that this is necessarily it, but I think you could make an argument for Sutton that like dealing with a divorce was so awful and so traumatic, and now just even having to like engage with lawyers again with her ex to figure out the child support, even doing that and being afraid that that's a battle, like it's just stress. It just makes her stressed. So I think, of course, Sutton doesn't say that, which she should just say, and that's why she has something on her mind. But Kyle doesn't think it seems like Kyle doesn't even want to give space to Sutton for having an excuse for why she was acting out of sorts, even though Kyle literally is doing the exact same thing with everything going on in her life. I mean, she literally later on is like, guys, I'm going through a hard time in my marriage. She literally does the same thing. She says the reason why she's doing everything is because there's stuff going on in her life, which by the way is totally fine. She just doesn't allow Sutton to say it. And in some ways I get it because Sutton is ridiculous when she says it, but Kyle is apparently the only one who's allowed to go through stuff to explain the motivations for why she acts in a different way.
Well, she's also saying like, let me get this straight. So Sutton wants like sympathy for a move that's actually not going to happen. And she's going to get even more money because she's going to have her son all the time. Like, help me connect the dots here. Okay. So you're really upset because things aren't working out in your marriage and your giant mansion when you own part of the agency and you're not going to have to worry about money again. You see how fucked up that is? Like, yeah,
you're
rich people are allowed to cry too. Okay. Now they might be more important tears than y'all's, but they are still tears. Okay. The salt might be pink Himalayan sea salt that is actually from the Himalayan sea, even though that's not really a thing probably, but you wouldn't know anyway because you're poor. You understand what I'm saying?
So Kyle's like, so when we went to your house, like what was going on there? Because you were off. By the way, Kyle's favorite thing is to accuse people of being off. This is what she always does. I think, as you mentioned, probably 5 times this recap. I'm just reiterating for the 6th time. And that's why it's hilarious that the moment someone asks Kyle why she is off, she can't deal with it. And so
she freaks out. Yeah.
100%. I was off 100%. And Kyle goes, well, it was aggressive. It was an aggressive off that you were. And Son's like, well, something was going on. I was trying to tell you about the soda machines in London and such, but you didn't have the patience to listen to me.
Okay, so you may have to move to London and get extra money every month, so that's your problem. I mean, what an asshole. So she goes,
such an asshole.
But also, this is, just to switch it around here. Sutton, first of all, this is ridiculous. Kyle was being an asshole to you. You didn't make anybody leave that Magic Mike show. You acted like an idiot in it and started screaming, had a fit, a public meltdown, and had an entire camera crew follow you out to have a breakdown. But Kyle did not follow you to be supportive, and she did not. She followed you to make you look even dumber when you removed yourself from the situation. And then she just poked at you to make you lose your shit even more. Why don't you say that in the argument?
Yeah.
Why are you finding that you have to have some reason? Kyle was being an asshole. Why don't you just say you were being an asshole and I didn't like it? The end. You don't need to have a reason of being hurt on the inside.
This is why she's our flawed crusader, because she just doesn't say the things she needs to say. She fights for the right things, but she doesn't say it in the right way. And it's hard. It's hard on us because I actually 100% agree with you, because I was just sort of saying, like, from a theoretical argument, like Sutton is allowed to actually be upset and have this thing distracting her. But realistically, we know what's going on and we know what was like what Sutton's issue was, and why don't you just say it and shut Kyle up? That would be the best of all worlds.
No, she's gone away and she's decided the thing that all these girls do when they need to get out of something is they come up with some big emotional excuse, which is true.
It's very
right?
bravo. Very bravo.
It's also very just modern times. Like if you're called out on anything, it's like, oh my God, I've been traumatized, as we'll get to in Miami later. So that's, I think, where she's going, but it's not going to work with her because Kyle literally does not care. I mean, Kyle is never going to give Sutton any kind of respect or any of that, and it is kind of funny to watch it. That's why I'm laughing because it's just every day. Sutton's like, well, oh, really? Here's my trauma. I'm getting more money. And my son's moving to a different city, or my husband's moving to a different city where I'm never going to have to see him again. And my son, who I've stated on television multiple times as an asshole, is going to be leaving me alone. It's hard. It is hard.
It's hard. It's a hard knock life. So Kyle goes, it's devastating. I'm sorry. Okay. And Sutton goes, it's a big deal, Kyle. And she goes, well, like it was a big deal when you couldn't have a fashion designer come to town. And Sutton's like, okay, no,
well, that was old shit.
Not Sutton's old shit. Fair point for Kyle. I'm gonna actually give Kyle a point on that one. Sutton goes, well, it's an end of an era where I'm making only so much for child support, and now a new era begins where I'm making a lot more. Okay, will you just listen for a second?
Kyle's like, are you that out of touch? You're in a copycat face trying to make people think you're dating a 28-year-old.
You are sitting in the shadow of a branded agency basketball that is on a tiny little pedestal. I am not joking about this, by the way. This is an actual thing I saw. I put it on our Instagram on the stories. There are basketballs that say the agency on them on pedestals next to the fireplace. You know what?
Honestly, you are literally your furniture is literally sitting on a floor copied from your Better Than You sister, and you have the pink light reflecting on you from the hallway that you have copied from Erica Jane, of all people. Can we not call people out of attention? Okay.
So we go back to the dining room, and someone asks Justin, I think I don't know. Someone's like, "Are you the only man here besides the chef?" And Justin's like, "Yes." And the chef is single, cute, and 30, which means he's limber. Chris, get in here.
And I was like, oh, 30? That means he can go all night long. Yes.
Then he says, you can be limber after 30. I mean, come on. I'm plenty limber in all the photo shoots to do with my daughter on the OnlyFans. So then we go back to Kyle and Sutton's like, my ex-husband is leaving the country indefinitely. I loved him, Kyle. And she's like, oh my God, he isn't leaving forever. You just fly back and forth, Sutton. I mean, I think it's not like a situation you can be sad over. I'm just saying, like, it's an excuse because you make up excuses when you behave like this.
And Sutton goes, well, what's your excuse then? Which is good.
So now this is all Kyle needs, because Sutton will not get Kyle. Sutton is literally confused. She's like, why is Kyle still trying to fight with me? You have not said the magic words, which is, Kyle, you are dating a celebrity. And so Kyle is freaking out. So now she's going to take this little thing. She says, that's your excuse to behave like this. Sutton says, well, what's your excuse? And now Kyle's like, this girl is trying to gay shame me. And accuse me of cheating on my husband.
Yeah. So everyone at the table is like, where's Kyle? And Denise is like, oh, well, does she have too many of the hors d'oeuvres? And Erica just cracks
because Denise is just more and more wasted every time they cut to her. And Drake goes, what are you talking about? Horse divorce. We haven't even eaten yet. And Denise is just wasted. She goes, well, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
Like Denise providing an instantly classic moment. So
are people snorting weenies in your bathroom to eat?
Or people munching on Spanico put on your bathroom to eat?
So Crystal goes up to get them, and so Sutton's like, you know what? You're not the friend that I know right now. And Kyle goes, okay, you're not. And Crystal's like, hey guys, I'm actually not trying to get you guys, but like at the same time, everyone's waiting. So it's either
I've got my brother on the phone. Like he wants this thing.
It's either you or my brother, guys. So you decide how you want this scene to play out, Kyle. It's your house.
Okay, you know what? We're just going to go sit because that's how Kyle's going to be, and you're not going to be honest, are you, Kyle? And Kyle's like, oh, really? What do you want me to be honest about? Just say it, Sutton. She goes, I don't know. Why don't you tell me what you're not being honest about? And Kyle's like, maybe I'm not being a friend to you because I think you're being a little weird and off. Drug addict, and I don't know if I would, like what it was, like if it was your medicine for your feet, or God, fucking Kyle.
Talk about somebody who won't just come out and say it. Just tell her you're an alcoholic, Kyle. Like just saying it in different ways than you did in season 1 doesn't change what you're doing. Just go ahead, do it again, Kyle. Use addiction against somebody right before you use an eating disorder against them. Go ahead.
Well, she actually kind of does, because she goes, I don't know if it was the medicine for your feet that makes you act strange, with your stupid feet podiatry medicine, or I don't know if that was your first drink or if you've had a couple, or if you know what I'm saying. But something is not right with you, possibly alcoholism. And if you have something that you want to say, just fucking say it, Sutton, in between your hiccups.
So Crystal is like, so Sutton just walks off, right? So Crystal's like, oh my God, is it more of the same? My brother's so sad. And Kyle's like, yeah. Like she keeps doing this whole like she's acting like she's concerned or something. I should be sharing with her. Like what should I be sharing with her? Like this is like literally crazy. I mean, she's just gonna say it, right? She can say it. I hope she's gonna go tell her to say it. Just tell her to say it. Tell her to do it in front of everybody in the story, please. I've been working so hard on this.
Crystal's
a new face.
Crystal's like, I think you guys are sort of doing the same thing to each other. That's what I'm reading. Hold on. Yeah, my brother says the same thing. He's also crying, by the way. So so Sutton sits down, and Erica's like, where's our hostess? And Sutton goes, in denial about something. And everyone's like, oh, not on Beverly Hills.
So she comes back, and Dorit's like, are you Kiki? And Kyle's like, that bitch, she's a bitch. And Garcelle's like, okay, so now it's time for the weed thing. So the guy's coming out, and Garcelle's like, I will sue you if you give me weed. I do not want it. And Erica's like, what happens to my farm? What feel the thing? So the feel like Erica's they're all on something else. I don't know what the hors d'oeuvres were, but I would like some.
Yeah. So Crystal's like, hey guys, so before we start dinner, if we could try to clear the air if possible. So, okay. So I walked in there. I was about to tell you about my brother, and instead you guys were screaming at each other and kind of took away my brother moment. So like you were both saying you guys were accusing each other of being dishonest, and Kyle's like, well, I don't like feeling like a friend is like making veiled threats against me. Sounds like, no.
Oh, really? What about the threat of you telling everybody she's a fucking alcoholic, which you've been doing the whole season? Veiled threat.
Kyle's like, it was a veiled threat. When you do that and you say, what's going on with you? And then you say, you're not being honest, and walk out of there. Like, what do you want me to be honest about? What do you want me to be? Okay, by the way, from the champion of open and honest, this is a real rich line of reasoning here.
Truly. And every season it's like, well, what are you talking about? Because it's like already in the tabloids. So like, Erica, like you have to address it, Erica.
You have to
like
be
it's
open
already
and
out there.
honest.
Like
be open and honest. Be open and honest. Now she's like, well, what should I be honest about? Just tell me what I should be honest about. If you have the balls to bring it up and the balls to say that to me, just say it.
And then Anne Marie is like, but if you do have balls, please don't play sports. Okay, don't play women's sports. I mean, I know I'm new here, but
I just want to make a mark. I want to make my splash here on Bravo. So Sutton's like, Kyle, in that room just then, I shared something with you that was very personal, and then you kind of made fun of it. And then Lake Tahoe, you said I was acting like that because I was selling my home and buying another home in Bel Air just to flaunt, Kyle.
Fucking Sutton. She's like, I didn't make fun of. I said that I can understand, and that's sad, but I think it's an excuse for your behavior in Las Vegas because, like, you made an excuse in Lake Tahoe like that because I was selling my home in Bel Air, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And so it's like, you're just deflecting, and you don't want to talk about stuff. She's, I'm not deflecting. I'm explaining myself. Oh, really? We're talking about my personal life, and I'm sharing with you, and I'm being very honest, and I'm being very real. I'm being very real with you right now. I am even richer. There, I said it. I am even richer.
The burden of being this rich and not being able to find a man who appreciates a cat sweater, that is hard on me. I'm distracted. So in the kitchen, Chef Chris is like, should I go out there while they're screaming at each other? And the other guy's like, no, don't do that. So Kyle's like, but what you're saying, you need to be honest with what's going on with you. So then there's that. So then you're perfect. You don't have to be honest. It's fine. You don't have to say anything, Kyle. You're perfect. You're perfect.
She's like, well, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm just saying, like, like, what if I'm saying, like, you're not going to be my friend, and, like, you're putting that out there, and then you have the balls to say, like, just say what you wanted to ask. Have that balls. And Sutton's like, I'm asking you, is there anything going on? What are you trying to insinuate? That I'm dating an incredibly successful person? And she's like your workout schedule, doing your eating thing. Oh, really? Now you have the guts to say I don't eat? You don't eat. What are you saying? You're the one who doesn't eat. You never eat. So now Kyle's like, okay, I didn't want to say anything before, but if she's going to make comments about my eating and working out and not drinking, don't make me go there. Because Sutton literally just pushes food around on her plate like my kids do when they want you to think they were eating their vegetables. Those potatoes just Didn't we just have a whole season about being sensitive to eating disorders?
Yeah.
And Kyle, didn't you have a big
Harris
monologue about how you had one and blah, 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 blah? Kyle's...
Yeah, she really goes from like that sensitive space now to just like, yeah, I'm coming back at you. Also, Kyle's like, say what? What do you like? Kyle's saying over and over again, like, just say it. Just say it. What are you trying to insinuate? So Sutton says it. And then she's like, oh, yeah, well, you don't eat.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why Sutton doesn't say it.
Kyle's prepared to come at Sutton, but Sutton's not really doing anything. So Kyle just keeps telling her until she says something. It's like, okay, well, you're working out a lot. Like, she doesn't even bring up the tabloids or anything, and Kyle is just ready to rumble. So then Anne-Marie jumps in, and she's like, oh my God, what is going on here? Am I literally the only one who doesn't know? Okay, let me just say something, guys. If you're really friends, you should be able to say things, and like, you guys are not saying anything to each other right now. Like, be blunt. Like, just say what you're saying. First of all, are you not listening? Kyle is calling Sutton an alcoholic and an anorexic, and Sutton is suggesting that Kyle is hiding that her marriage is over. What are you not understanding? You're going to need to learn to read a little bit better in between the lines, ma'am, if you're going to stick around.
Yeah, so Dorit's like, 100% agree. And Anne-Marie says, but you're not saying anything right now. And Sutton goes, is there something going on in your personal life that you would like to share, Kyle? And Anne-Marie goes, but with what, though? With what? What are you trying to say? And Garcelle's like,
Really?
yeah. I mean, what's with the new band? And Anne-Marie's like, yeah, well, that's what she wants to know. What's with the new band? So Garcelle's like, yeah, it is what I want to know. What's with the new wedding band? I mean, look at that piece of shit thing. Come on, fess up. Tell us everything about it.
And Sutton's like, well, you haven't been wearing your wedding ring. And she goes, I mean, like, it's in the bank. You mean my big diamond? Yeah, it's in the bank. Well, now all these things kind of add up, don't they? She goes, oh, so this is what you're talking about because I had a new ring on that I bought? You already knew this. Why are you pretending you've just heard this for the first time? She told you on the phone. Kyle, is that a new ring? Oh, so this is what you're talking about? Because I had a new ring on that I bought myself on your wedding finger. Yeah.
Yeah.
You take off your giant diamond wedding ring, get rid of it, and change it with a new ring. Yeah, who wouldn't ask you about that?
And Erica goes,
Oh, hell, I haven't worn mine in years.
I'm like, yes, Erica, I don't think we're really going to go for you for...
That's evidence. Yours was taken away.
We're not going to look to you for like clarity on this situation. So
yours was
like,
repossessed, Erica.
Sounds like, well, I thought it was a makeup band. You know, when your husband messes up and you get a gift. I mean, I have a diamond cross. And Eric's like,
Oh, girl, did it burn into flames? Are you kidding me? I'm wasted. I want those hors d'oeuvres Denise was talking about.
So I think it's funny that everybody's kind of laughing because it's like not that crazy of a question, right? Like, what's with your new band, Kyle? And Gracil's like, yeah, I mean, they buy something so you'll forget what they did. And Camille's like, oh my God, yeah, I used to get cars. I got an Aston Martin once. Yeah, every time he did something, I got a new car. It was so fun. One time I went to get an oil change and they came back with... what do you call it when they go over your whole car? They give you the sheet of stuff's wrong. God damn it. Never mind. I'm fucking this up. Go ahead, Ben.
So Sutton's like, well, she's asking about a sapphire. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Kyle says, she's asking about a sapphire and diamond band that I had, which is very beautiful, but it wasn't a gift from Mauricio. I bought it myself. And so I was like, okay.
Who cares?
It's cleared up.
Yeah.
Sutton starts saying it's cleared up in a way that'd be like, it's not cleared up, but fine. you know?
Right. And Faye's like, oh, it just seems so inappropriate. Didn't you sell a book about your best friend being murdered? Fuck off, Faye. Like, still. I don't even care how many years it's been. Still fuck off. And if anybody wants to know why still fuck off, Faye, you don't even have to read anything. Go watch The People versus O.J. Simpson and check out the characterization of Faye. It is hilarious and just awful.
Yeah. So Faye's like, well, it just seems so inappropriate. And Garcelle goes, who said that? Oh, Faye, never mind. So Faye's like, I mean, to talk about her marriage at a table and talking behind backs is just absolutely incorrect. It's just terrible. So Camille turns to Denise, goes, oh, we've dealt with that. Mwah, hi, yeah. Denise is, Camille's just like loving this downfall for Kyle.
Yes, and Denise is like, I don't even know what anything's about right now. You know what I'm talking about, right? So Son's like, okay, so it's clear. I'm clear with him. If we're clear, then I'm clear. And Kyle's like, well, it's just a weird thing to say. Like, I mean, Garcelle, where'd you get that necklace? Garcelle goes, Zara.
I'm surprised she wasn't kicked out of Kyle's house when she said that. So
everyone's laughing. So like Kyle has nothing to stand on here. Like nothing has been asked that's been crazy. Like, why are you wearing a new wedding ring?
Erica's just happy that Erica's like,
Sutton digs into people's lives. I don't know why she does it, but I'm just glad it's not me.
and Kyle goes, well, guess what? I buy things for myself. I bought a Cartier ring with you. You buy rings. I bought my ring myself. I bought that ring. But it's like, again, it's like, yeah, but you took off your wedding band and put the ring you bought on your own ring finger. I don't know, Kyle.
Now. So then Sutton's like, okay, and it's all cleared up. And Kyle still has not heard what she needs to, which is you're dating a famous person. So she's like, okay, so what you're saying is that my husband's cheating on me. Is that what you're saying? And she goes, did I say that? And Anne-Marie's like, wait a minute. Kyle can't get new jewelry and Kyle can't get fit. Is that what we're saying? Oh my God. Anne-Marie, it's just not the time. No. This is not how you want to come onto this show. You know?
And Kyle's like, oh, I guess pretty much, Anne-Marie, thank you so much for that original point. By the way, make it even worse. I said, don't you guys remember? I said at the retreat that this year has not been one of our best years. Okay, we've had a hard time. Okay, guys? And Faye goes, that's marriage. Shut up, Faye. Because I mean, it's not been a great year, and I shared this with you guys. I shared it. It just feels like a little bit of a low blow. Is that not enough for you guys?
No one said anything to you. You're literally forcing everybody to bring this up. Nobody has said it to you. So Sutton's like, sure. She goes, well, do you want more? Do you want my husband to have cheated on me and bought me that band that he did not buy me? Is that what you want, Sutton? And Erica's like, well, let's not do this right now. She's like, he didn't buy it. He didn't buy the ring. So Garcelle, thankfully, is like, yeah, I don't think Kyle wants to address the elephant in the room. Is there something going on in your marriage? That's the question, not who bought the ring.
Well, great, Kyle. I'm happy. I'm content with all your answers. And I'm saying that in a way that says, you're a fucking liar and I know all about it. So Faye's like, it's weird. It's weird that you say that. It feels wrong. So Kyle goes, everyone's saying what's going on with you. If I'm exercising and not drinking, because guess what? If I have 2 glasses of wine, then the next day I feel down and depressed. I can't afford to feel depressed right now.
And now I'm going to express my feelings through a song on this banjo. Oh my God. Still nobody gets it.
So Kyle, the queen of open and honest, not being open and feels like not being honest.
Not being honest. No open or honest. Well, God, it feels good to be back on the anti-Kyle train. I was worried for myself there. What an asshole. And you know what? Thank you for not changing, because sometimes there's not a lot of dependability left in our world. And I just feel like the dependability of Kyle still being a dick just makes me feel good inside. It really does. So thank you.
Yeah, you know what? And by the way, Sutton this is a good cast for Sutton, because there have been so many situations where Sutton really should be the villain. And there's just always someone who fucks up more than Sutton, and she always comes off as not the villain. So good for her for landing on this show. It's really worked out well for her so far.
She is giving enough to be like, okay, so I asked about your wedding band. Who cares? She's learning like the whole gaslighting thing like Kyle is. Because normally I feel like Sutton runs away crying, but this time she's not. She's just like, what the fuck ever. And she's giving Kyle a taste of her own medicine. So enjoying it. Really, just shocking. I've said it 10 times. Shockingly good this season.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, and we still have a whole other half of this dinner party to watch next week. Can't wait for it. Cannot
We
wait.
sure do. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for being on demand video. Hey, love you guys. And we will talk to you later this week. More Miami. Southern Charm is coming up. Tons of stuff still to come. We will talk to you next time.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Strolling the park with Caitlin Clark.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Hitchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
She's never scary. It's the Green Fairy.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know your worth with Jason Kurth.
She's the wind beneath our Jennifer Wing.
Sip some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch. She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo.
We love him madly. It's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. We want to hang with Liz Lang. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel. She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke. Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She's quite the catch. It's Victoria Cotchett.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.